What's up, spell slingers and Highlander enthusiasts? Havoc here, and welcome to my Dominaria Highlander primer. Today we're looking at white cards coming out in Dominaria from a strictly EDH and Brawl standpoint. Now, with every new set that comes out, us Highlander players need to comb through the cards and see which ones fit into already established decks, and which ones might warrant making brand new ones, and this set has a lot of both. I've been brewing up a storm during preview season, and I can't wait to show you what I've created. So let's take a look. What new commanders is this set giving us, and what notable includes are there that we need to keep our eye on? Now, with the set and the mechanics of it, they had to make a lot of creatures legendary that otherwise wouldn't be. We're used to seeing very unique text on our legendary creatures, and some of the cards do have this, but others lack the build around me attention that we're used to seeing. Good or bad, I don't know, but it does give us EDH and Brawl players a lot to talk about, so let's start with the legendary creatures. We start off with Baird, Steward of Argive, and this really isn't commander material in my opinion, and it's a slightly worse Windborn Muse here, but it is a little better in combat. Now, you're only taxing your opponent's 1, and Baird doesn't have flying like the Muse does, but I know a few prison decks that would love to have Baird a part of their 99. Next is Danitha Capuchin Paragon. Great keywords on Danitha, and the interaction with auras and equipment is really nice for those mono white decks that want to be in this lane, but I don't see this being better than Saram. Saram right now really is the go-to commander if you want to be in the lane of auras and equipment. But she definitely fits into Saram's 99, but as a commander herself, I'm not seeing it. Next is Evra, Halcyon Witness. As a commander, I don't see this card either. I really don't like these life exchange effects, and I'm not sure where Evra fits in, but time will tell. Maybe this fits into Eiley or Vana could use this to get some life back to keep exiling things, but I don't know. What do you think of Evra? Next is Quinde, Pride of Femarif. I love this card. I think the first strike ability is really underrated as a keyword, but I can see a potential first strike tribal theme here that I really want to build around. It's gonna be kind of janky, but here we have another knight that will be a solid include in either EDH knights or my black-white knights deck for Brawl. Speaking of first strike, look at this card, Lyra Dawnbringer. Beautiful art, beautiful keywords, and her text is what every lover of angels wants to see. Now, as a general in a mono white angels deck, she could be solid. My only problem with Lyra is that she's only in white, and I've tried to build a mono white angels deck before, and I found myself really missing the utility of the other colors. But with her being so good, it kind of makes me want to rebuild my Janara Bant Angels deck. We'll see. Next is Shalai, Voice of Plenty. Now, I know this is technically a Selesnya commander, but she was in the white cards, so she's going to be included here. And I think the obvious comparison here is with Sigarda, Host of Herons. And is Shalai better than her? It depends on what you're wanting to do. Sigarda has hexproof herself, which is really nice, but Shalai has that token synergy, which is nice, and maybe a tokens theme. For me, she just doesn't have enough to warrant building something around her, but I do see her maybe fitting into my Risk the Redeem deck. The last of the white legendary creatures is Teshar, Ancestors Apostle. I don't really see this being a commander either. The ability is nice, being able to return cheap creatures from the graveyard straight to the battlefield, but I just think this might be too narrow to build around as a commander. But there are a few decks that I see Teshar fitting into great because those historic spells includes artifacts, and those are all the white legendary creatures. Some interesting cards here, but none that really makes me want to start building a mono white deck. So let's talk about the rest. Where do they fit in? The first card that kind of caught my eye was the Banalish Marshal. Great creature for a white knights or a white weenies deck. I know that this is absolutely going into my black-white knights Brawl deck, and I'm still brewing around in EDH and making another knights deck. Knights are so my thing, and I can't wait to trample over my playgroup with a battalion of knights armed to the teeth. So let's just talk about the other bonkers knight synergy cards up front so we can get that out of my system. Dub is nice in the Knights deck, giving a significant boost to power and toughness, and granting First Strike, which is a relevant keyword in this archetype, with Quindi being an auto-include in the deck. We also have the beautiful History of Benalia, another Knights tribal card here, but also a great token generator. You're getting 4 power and toughness on 2 creatures for a 3 mana spell, and that's if you don't already have some token doublers out there. I love everything about this card. We also have Dauntless Bodyguard in the Knights theme. Now, other than the fact that this is another Knight, and did I mention that I'm super excited about Black-White Knights? It's also a great protection trick here. There are better ones out there, but this one is still pretty nice. Giving your commander indestructible to dodge removal, or just having this guy soak up a removal spell himself, is all upside for me. Moving away from the Knights, we have Seal Away. This will be a great include in Brawl, but we'll have to see for EDH. You mainly try to stay away from the conditional removal spells in EDH because there's just better cards out there that exile, but we'll have to see where this one goes. Dominaria is also giving us the Saga Fall of Thran. Now, don't be this guy. I realize that this isn't as bad as Armageddon, but still, there is like an unwritten rule in EDH that unless there is a dangerous land on the table, don't go blowing up people's lands. Don't be this guy. But still, this is an interesting card, and some decks probably want to be running this. We also have Daring Archaeologist. These type of effects are always nice to see. I mean, that's why cards like Eternal Witness and Sun Titan are always going to be staples in EDH. Now, I'm not saying that Daring Archaeologist is on the same power level as those two, but I do see this fitting into an equipment deck very nicely. Next is Tragic Poet. I know that this is a reprint, but that new artwork is stunning. If you haven't checked out this card for your enchantment deck, like maybe Daxos the Returned or Karametra, then give this one a look. Tragic Poet gives you nice enchantment recursion for cheap. And finally, we have Triumph of Gerard. I don't really like this card, and I thought they should have given a central character like Gerard something a little better, but hey, this is what we got. I could see this in like a Voltron-y deck like Rafik. Give him 2 +1/+1 counters, and then on lore counter 3, you give him flying so he can swing over the top and knock someone out. Seems pretty decent for 2 mana. And that's really it for White. I think the most impactful cards are really the Legends. Not as potential commanders, but many of them fit in nicely in already established archetypes in EDH. And many support themes that we see as viable options for Brawl decks. But what do you think? Did I miss any White cards that you saw and knew exactly what deck to put them into? Let me know in the comment section down below. So if you like this video and want to see more, please give me a like. It helps out a lot. And if you like my channel, please give me a sub. My goal this week is to put out a primer video every day so we can get through the color pie and we can get through the gold cards and the artifacts and the lands before pre-release happens, so you know which cards to be looking for. Once again, my name is Havoc. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.